Dr. Okey is an AI strategy consultant providing business and digital transformation expertise to help business leverage AI for growth and innovation. He works with business to create practical, scalable software solutions and develop AI strategies that are focused on real-world results. His experience spans different positions and industries, including technology, finance, telecoms, healthcare, entertainment, and manufacturing. Okey guides business on how AI can align with business goals to unlock new opportunities. His goal is to help companies use AI and technology to drive growth and improve their operations without getting lost in the technical details. I want to invite everyone to help us make welcome Dr. Okey for his presentation.
You're welcome, sir.
You're welcome, Dr. Okey. I will stop sharing now and then you can take over the screen. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you
Yes, we
and we
can.
can see your screen.
Okay.
Yes.
I hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. When the moderator was talking about me, I was wondering whether it was me they were talking about. But thank you very much for that. So, good evening, everyone. I'm delighted to be here today to present a topic. This topic is very close to my heart. AI strategy for engineers, turning technical skills into business value. As he rightly said, my name is Okey Nnoli. I am eminently honored to be here to interact with the Nigerian Society of Engineers Glasgow branch. I understand that NCE Glasgow is now the largest NCE branch in the diaspora. I love what you guys are doing, and I align myself with your work. Your works in continuously promoting the development of Nigerian engineers, both in the diaspora and back at home. I hope they continue. You continue to do the good work relentlessly, especially now that we have found ourselves in a new era, the AI era. It may interest you to know that I started my professional career in an engineering firm, Nest Oil Limited. I had the opportunity of working with engineers in the real world. That's a bit of a change from the interaction I had with the potential engineers as students in the university. Nest Oil, in that place, I learned AutoCAD design and the project management. Some of the project we did was something like dredging in Eweleku, that's in Delta State, and the perimeter fence construction, Ejeba, SPDC, and also pipeline debottlenecking in Opukushi, and many other projects. These projects were done using a combination of manual labor and heavy, complicated machinery, sometimes with life-changing accident happening. So on reflection about these projects in the context of AI, I could see many areas these operations could have benefited from AI. So in line with the overarching mission of NCE Glasgow branch, I'll be guiding you through this session on how AI can significantly shape our roles as engineers, help us drive innovation, and open new opportunities, both here in the UK and back home in Nigeria.
Dr. Nnoli, it is NSE, Nigerian Society of Engineers, just to make that correction.
NSE, yeah.
NSE, yeah.
Thank you for that, yeah. So before we dive into the main content, here is a brief overview of today's session. We will start by discussing why AI strategy is crucial for engineers today, followed by the skills required for AI and how to turn them to business value. And when we look at that, we will now have a look at the global trends in AI applications within engineering. I will share some examples like predictive maintenance and digital twins and a few other cases to demonstrate how engineers can apply AI to real-world challenges. Lastly, we will explore opportunities for engineers, particularly in Nigeria and in the UK. We will wrap up with a Q&A where you can ask questions and share your thoughts. Artificial intelligence is no longer a futuristic idea like we saw in Star Wars film. I watched some of those episodes when I was younger, and I'm sure many of you did. AI is present and its reality now is transforming industries across the globe. Today, I'll be talking about how AI is revolutionizing engineering, and we can, as engineers, leverage it to create real business value. The ability to move beyond technical roles to strategic ones using AI is what separates good engineers from great engineers. Engineers today are no longer building bridges and systems. They are building future-proof strategies that can enhance businesses and even solve pressing challenges in society. This is not just true for engineers in the UK, but also in Nigeria and Africa, where opportunities to deploy AI are increasingly emerging. Many of you may have heard about the recent cancellation of the Calabar-Lagos Coastline Highway realignment due to the discovery of the submarine communication cables along the route mapped out for this project. These cables span across multiple countries and could have caused significant collateral damage if disturbed. The question is, can AI help uncover this earlier before the execution of the project even began? While you reflect on that, let's take a closer look at the impacts of AI on our field, which is engineering. AI is reshaping the way we think about engineering. Take, for instance, smart cities, where infrastructure is being designed to be self-monitoring and self-optimizing. Cities like Singapore and London are adopting AI to manage traffic flows and energy consumption. This result is more efficient and sustainable urban living. That's what the implementation of this will result to, as it is evident in Singapore and also London. They use what we call Scoop, I think used by Transport for London. The role of AI in automation systems is rapidly evolving. In manufacturing, factories are becoming smart, where machines predict breakdowns before they even happen, therefore reducing downtime. For example, Siemens has developed AI-powered industry robots that learn from data, and this capability is now being applied across industries such as automotive, electronics, and food production. These innovations align with the principles of Industry 4.0, which promotes smart manufacturing through the integration of technologies such as artificial intelligence, Internet of a Thing, digital twins technology. They enable the creation of intelligence factories that can autonomously optimize production, predict maintenance needs, and make data-driven decisions in real time. But where does Africa stand in all this? Interestingly, there is tremendous opportunity in the continent. Take Lagos, for example. It's a growing city with significant challenges like traffic management and infrastructure limitations. AI can be used here to optimize transport systems and enhance public services. We will explore more about these opportunities later on. Before we get deeper into the specific applications, it's crucial we understand what we meant by AI strategy. Essentially, AI strategy is about aligning AI capabilities such as machine learning, data analytics, and automation with the broader goals of the business. So, a key example of AI impact is predictive maintenance. Many of us are familiar with maintaining machinery, but AI takes this further by predicting when a machine is likely to fail. For example, in oil and gas, companies like Shell use AI to predict equipment failure, significantly reducing operational cost. AI processes are data intensive. They process massive amount of data from sensors to predict issues, allowing engineers to address problems before they even escalate. As engineers, we need to think beyond implementing AI technologies. We need to think strategically. How does the AI we implement align with business objectives, such as reducing cost, improving efficiencies, and creating new avenue of stream income of incomes? As mentioned earlier, AI strategy is about aligning AI capabilities to create business value. But how does all this help us as engineers to turn our technical skills into business value? To explain this, it's useful to reflect on the insight from Rory Sutherland, the vice chairman of Ogilvy, UK. He said, there are two ways of creating new economic value. You can either find out what people want and work out a clever way of delivering it to them, or you can work out what you can deliver and find a clever way of making people want it. In the context of AI, creating business values means understanding and using the core pillars of AI, like data, algorithm, and infrastructure, while ensuring that all these pillars are grounded in solving real-world business problems. As engineers, some of these skills that we already have are mathematical, analytical, and problem-solving skills. They are crucial here. These can be applied to areas like data analytics, data engineering, data science, AI engineering, DevOps. These are essential components for driving business value from AI. But all these skills are not delivering value if they are not solving problems. What I mean by problems means business problem. That's why if you look at the diagram here, you have the three pillars, which are the data, algorithm, and infrastructure. Then you have the problem at the top, the problem definition. That's why it is there as the head or the leveling base of these pillars. So it has to solve business value. Otherwise, it's akin to just having all these skills and they are not solving any problem. It's just akin to keeping up with cool kids. It just it won't materialize to anything. So therefore, the engineers and also others should actually make sure that the skills which they are acquiring are being applied to solve real problem. So the key here is to integrate these skills into your projects. That's the key. So transforming your technical skills into business value isn't just a buzzword. It's a real opportunity for us as engineers, to make difference. You need to make a difference. That's when you now talk about getting the skills into use. But let's break it down into some practical steps that we can all take. The first one is identify opportunities. A report from World Economic Forum highlights data-driven decision-making, and it is crucial for business, so aiming to enhance their competitive edge. So which means that you think about your current project and then you try to identify opportunities. Is there any repetitive task, for instance, that can take up a lot of time? There are many AI. Where can AI shine? For example, if you're spending hours or labor in inspecting bridges, imagine what you could do if AI drones help streamline that process. Look for the golden opportunities where you can make a real impact. So either you identify problems or you see opportunities for improvement. And then the second one is leverage data. Data is important. Like I said earlier, it's data-driven decision is very crucial for aiming to enhance your business processes and achieve competitive edge. So data isn't just numbers, they tell stories. Data tells stories. So you use your data analytical skills to dig into the data to uncover insights that could change the direction of a project. It's like being a detective. What can the data reveal about our processes? This insight can lead to smarter decisions and better outcomes. The third one is to collaborate across disciplines. Research from Harvard Business Review indicates that cross-functional collaboration can lead to more innovative products and services. That's why collaboration is very important. Don't hesitate to reach out, work closely with data scientists, the IT engineers, and see if you can open doors to innovative solutions. Remember, collaboration can spark creativity. Think of it like a band. When everyone plays their part, the music is so much better. Then the final one is upskill. Continuously to do what? Upskill. Learn and unlearn. The World Economic Forum reports that the future of work will heavily depend on continuous skill upgrade to keep pace with the technological advancements. The landscape of AI is always changing, and we need to keep pace. Consider joining workshops or online courses. These are fantastic ways to expand our knowledge and skills and connect with the like-minded professionals. By focusing on these steps, we can take our technical expertise and transform them into something that adds value to real business, the real value which we are talking about when we refer to the base of those three pillars, which is problem definition, which is identifying problem, identifying opportunities, and then leveraging AI, which are these three pillars to solve the problem. So it's not just about keeping up, it's about leading the way in the innovation and efficiency in our organization. Let's embrace the change and be the engineers that drive it. So We now know the three pillars of AI: skills to acquire and the steps to leverage all these in the engineering projects. So let's take a look at some of the examples of AI, how they have been it has been successfully integrated to solve engineering problems, and see how they create business value. Let's take a look at a real-world example. Rolls-Royce, the aerospace giant, has long been an industry leader in aerospace innovation. And one of their most significant advances in recent years is their use of AI for predictive maintenance. Historically, engine maintenance was either scheduled based on a fixed time interval or reactive after a failure has occurred. However, Rolls-Royce has adopted AI-driven predictive maintenance, which uses data collected from thousands of sensors on their jet engines. Through machine learning algorithm, they can analyze this data in real time to predict potential issues before they happen. For instance, instead of grounding a plane for routine checks, Rolls-Royce can monitor these engines in flight, reducing unexpected failures and operational costs. This has a huge impact on both safety and cost efficiency. Airlines no longer have to wait for something to go wrong. They can preemptively fix them, minimizing downtime. This approach has led to a 30% reduction in engine-related delays and cancellations, which is not only a technical feat, but a business transformation. For engineers, this case illustrates how the combination of AI and the Internet of a Thing can revolutionize industries by transforming from reactive approaches to data-driven predictive solutions, just like the case of Rolls-Royce. Let's take a look at a case, this use case, digital twins. Digital twin technology is reshaping how every engineering project are planned and executed. A digital twin is just a model of a physical object or process or a system or even an asset that enables real-time monitoring and simulation. These models allow engineers to simulate scenarios, test designs, and make better decisions based on real-time data. One notable example is Singapore's Smart Nation. Singapore has adopted digital twins to optimize urban planning. For example, the government uses digital twins to model traffic flows, resource allocation, and infrastructure development. This helps planners see how a new building or road would impact the city, reducing inefficiencies and improving overall sustainability. Arguably, I am sure that many of you can agree with me that the recent reversal of Calabar-Lagos Coastal Line Highway realignment wouldn't have occurred if the first place was, if in the first place that we were able to do what, integrate digital twins or run Smart Nation. It might have been uncovered initially before we actually find ourselves in a situation whereby we have to reverse the project. Another great application is seen in Siemens Hamburg factory in Germany, where digital twins are used to simulate production processes, ensuring that potential failures are addressed before they occur, thereby streamlining production lines and optimizing maintenance. Also, BP uses digital twins in the oil and gas industry to monitor offshore operations, enhancing safety and efficiency. In the context of Nigeria, this is an exciting opportunity. Imagine using digital twins in urban development in cities like Lagos or Abuja to plan infrastructure, manage traffic congestions, or allocate resources more efficiently. In a recent social media, which I saw, I can't remember whether it was on Facebook or YouTube, but I was impressed by how drones are transforming bridge inspections. Traditionally, this assessment required either scaffolding or rope access techniques for the engineers to just go up the bridge and start inspecting. And this exposed them to risk, and also it increased cost. But drones now provide a safer, more cost-efficient solution, allowing engineers to inspect hard-to-reach areas quickly and with greater precision. For example, in inspecting the Third Mainland Bridge in Lagos, or even the River Niger between Onitsha and Asaba, drones could eliminate the need for traditional inspection, enabling real-time monitoring of the bridge conditions. The detailed imaging collected during this inspection can be fed into digital twin models, creating real-time digital replica that enhance predictive maintenance and optimize the performance over time. So this is an example how we could actually integrate that in Nigerian context as well. But engineers have a very important role to play, as they are responsible for designing, maintaining, and improving these systems. Embracing digital twin technology would actually help Nigeria to move forward and be at the forefront of smart city development. So, okay. So when we talk about AI applications, it is important to consider both the UK and Africa. Here in the UK, AI innovation is thriving. For example, the UK Research and Innovation, UKRI, is investing £250 million in technology missions to support new and existing capabilities in artificial intelligence, quantum technologies, and engineering biology from 2023 to 2025 and beyond. This includes £12 million awarded to various AI projects as part of £31 million programs led by the Responsible AI UK, which focus on the ethical development and use of AI. Key projects include £3.15 million for addressing socio-technical limitations of large language models. And also, even University of Glasgow also, they have 3.5 million to support the project at the university to develop tools that enables non-experts to audit predictive and generative AI and ensure transparency and minimize harm. So major cities like Manchester, London, and Cambridge are AI hubs, with numerous startups and universities pushing the envelope in AI research, from deep learning to AI ethics. But the opportunity is equally significant in Nigeria and across Africa. AI can address local challenges that are very specific to the continent. For instance, AI can be used to improve energy efficiencies in rural areas where consistent power supply is still an issue. We are also seeing AI being used in agriculture. A Nigerian startup called Zemvus by NWC Ekekwe created an intelligent solution for farms that they use AI-driven sensor to help farmers monitor their soil conditions predict the best time to plant crops and also improve yields, reducing waste. There's another company also similar to that, which is AirSmart, which also is a similar startup, but they use drones and artificial intelligence to improve agricultural productivity by providing farmers with actionable insight on the soil health, moisture levels, and potential diseases. Also, federal government also has been doing its bit through the National Information Technology Development Agency. And they have revealed plans to establish research centers within with cutting-edge technologies, I think around the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. And this will contribute on the innovation in fields like AI, Internet of Things, and the blockchain technology. We haven't quite gotten the national policy on AI development, but I think it's still on the way. If I remember what the Minister for Communication, Innovation, and Digital Economy said, that's Dr. Bosu Tijani. So it's still on the way, and I'm hoping that the Nigerians' target to be ranked 50 in AI readiness by 2030 will be a reality. In the recent development 3 weeks ago, the federal government also, in collaboration with Google, has launched a 100 million naira fund to empower 10 Nigerian startups using AI and their technology product to drive artificial intelligence innovation in Nigeria. So that's a good thing. So this goes to show the potential of AI in Nigeria and also in the UK, and what the engineers can do and where they can play a part in creating and deploying artificial intelligence solutions. Now, to make the most of these opportunities, engineers need to upskill. Remember what we said the other time, upskill is very important continuously. So the engineers, they need to upskill, moving from a purely technical role to becoming an AI strategist or even the decision makers with regards to AI policies. It requires new skills like data science, machine learning, and importantly, leadership in AI ethics and governance. So yeah, technical skills, and then also knowledge of what is happening in the field of AI, these fields which I mentioned, coupled with their leadership, will help you to be in a position to be able to become an AI strategist and even make important decisions with regards to that. These are several ways to bridge this gap of technical to business. First, there are great online courses as well, which are available on platforms like Coursera, if you want to learn, and also Udemy. And there are many universities now that offer courses like Stanford and also Imperial College. I think there are other ones in the US. I attended the one called University of California, Berkeley, the House Business School. They have an interesting course as well in AI. But a lot of them, University of Oxford, a lot of them. So it depends on where the key is to keep learning, because it's only when you learn that you'll be able to be in a position to make a decision, when you understand where some of these skills can actually be applied in business. So, and also last June, Dr. Casey Omeke and the profession, in collaboration with the Professional Concept, conducted data science boot camp for students in the University of Glasgow. And I'm sure that, with time also, maybe Nigerian Society of Engineers might also be doing something like that to educate, since it's also part of their mission or vision to kind of educate engineers and help to grow engineering practice here in the UK and Nigeria. So these are the ways of bridging this gap of technical and the business, especially when the learning is geared towards solving real-world business problems. Moreover, mentorship is also key. Engaging with AI through thought leaders and also participating in networks like AI for Good. As another one, deep learning in Daba is for Africa that focuses on AI in Africa. These can provide necessary mentorship and community to grow your skills. Let's explore a few more case studies to see how different industries are applying AI to drive business value. Siemens is using AI in their smart factories where they have automated almost 75% of their operations.
Sorry to interrupt you, Dr. Nnoli, just to say that if it would be great if you could maybe summarize in about 5 minutes,
Yeah.
so that
Okay.
we'll have opportunity to take questions at the end. Thank you.
Okay. So AI helps the machines to work autonomously and also the learning from their environment and also improving the efficiency. So this not only saves costs, but also enhance productivity. In energy sector, Shell also uses AI for their energy exploration, processing vast amount of geological data to find oil reserves more efficiently. And this is a game changer and is very important, especially in oil-rich regions like Nigeria. And in the technology sectors where you have Andela as well, which many of you know has created AI-powered recruitment platform connecting African talent and global opportunities. Their model has revolutionized how African engineers work globally, and AI has been a key enabler in their process. This case, though not traditionally engineering, but I can argue that it helps in connecting engineers to global opportunities. So in addition to the earlier examples, AI could also be leveraged for drone inspection in Nigeria, like we said, but also it can play a pivotal role in addressing Nigeria's most pressing engineering challenges. So the AI also can contribute in environmental sustainability. Cities like Lagos, Onitsha, and Aba, the waste management issue is very significant. So AI can monitor and optimize waste collection route, reducing fuel efficiencies, fuel consumption, and also improving cleanliness. So, for example, in Lagos, in fact, enough of Lagos. Let's use a different city for a breath of fresh air. Let's take a look at Aba case, which has similar issues. So the study by Nkwocha and colleagues actually highlighted the deplorable state of Aba, identifying the key challenges due to inadequate infrastructure and the funding. But they suggested that these can be improved using advanced technologies like AI, like we said. So while not specifically mentioning AI, I believe that the integrating AI in Aba would also optimize the waste collection and also monitor the level in real time. This will also apply to Onitsha, even Lagos or Kano, and every other Nigerian state. This is not far-fetched because countries like Netherlands and United States have already successfully applied this in their waste management, cutting costs and boosting efficiency. So this shows how AI could actually play a pivotal role in waste management in Nigeria as well. And then engineers can apply this to solve real life problems. So in conclusion, before we wrap up the session, I'm just rushing out. So let's take a moment to recap the key points we have covered today. First, as engineers, we are in unique position to harness the power of AI. Our technical skills, problem-solving mindset, and the ability to innovate can translate directly into business value when we apply AI strategically. We have explored several AI trends that are already shaping the engineering such as predictive maintenance, digital twins, and autonomous systems. These are transforming industries and creating new opportunities for us to lead this development, whether here in the UK or back home in Nigeria. Speaking of Nigeria, the potential for AI-driven solutions in infrastructure, energy and agriculture, and other sectors is massive. Nigerian engineers, particularly those with international experience like yourself, are perfectly positioned to take the lead in solving real-world challenges in Africa, specifically in Nigeria. But as we embrace these new technologies, we must also be mindful of the ethical governance and challenges AI presents. We must ensure that AI is deployed responsibly, transparently, and in ways that benefit society. Ultimately, the future belongs to those who can integrate technical expertise with AI strategy. That's the path to unlocking opportunities, not only for individuals' career growth, but also for creating meaningful impact in the industry around the world. Thank you for listening to me today, and I hope this presentation will spark up ideas on how AI can transform your work as engineers and will inspire you to push boundaries of what engineers can achieve in AI age, both here in the UK and back home in Nigeria. So with that, I would open floor for any questions that you may have. But before we do that, I would like to also just say one thing, if you permit me, the moderator, right? Before we jump back to this. So this was done courtesy of a professional concept. Thank you for the opportunity. So the reason why I'm bringing this up, in case if you have any questions or any solutions or things you want to do with AI or opportunities you want to explore, or even training or talk, you know where to find us. So I'll put this at the back of the slide here in case anybody wants to be in touch. Thank you very much. Back to Q&A.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nnoli. I've already mentioned in the chat at the beginning that you can post your questions in the chat if it's something that's burning that can't wait.
Okay.
But I haven't seen anything so far. So if anyone has any questions, please, you could use the digital reaction button to raise your hand, and then I will pick you just so that we stay organized, and then you can ask your question. Thank you very much for that wonderful presentation. Each time people talk about AI, I'm just going to keep talking unless someone has a question. So while I'm waiting, yeah, this is a topic that's very close to my heart. And I know the chairman has already thanked everyone for coming, but many of you were not here in the beginning. So just to say that we have a very packed program over the next couple of months. And maybe
Engineer
next
Kelechi, I think we have Engineer Demola Agoro with his hands raised up.
All right. Go on, please, Engineer Demola.
Agoro, FNSE.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and the presenter. I want to thank the Glasgow branch for this technical webinar. The only thing I just want to say, and you are all aware, Madam President flag off a training program for all Nigerians engineers on emerging technology. And it speaks to most of the things that our speaker is saying, you know, because many people just talk about AI. And I'm so happy that when he was talking about the issue of the predictive maintenance and where is the role of the engineers, it's all about, in Nigeria today, the major problem we have is data. So we need people that can develop equipment, sensors that can, just like even in the power system, today there is no data. But we need engineers that can understand how to develop models. And you want to develop models to solve some, because most of this AI that people talked about, they are all engineering. It's like they are trying to take over our engineering job. And the truth is that as an engineer, you cannot, there's a limit to what you can process in your head. That's why you need all those machine languages to be able to process all this data. But how do you get this data? Do you know about, that's why Madam President did something on this, on how to learn about data engineering, soft codes and all those things. So I want to encourage all our engineers, especially not just because most of people just hear about AI. You cannot use AI effectively in Nigeria without the data. And you need to understand how you have all the soft skills, to be able to process those data. So I want to thank because this is part of the professional development, and I want to thank the Glasgow branch for bringing this up. I think we need to let our engineer know more about this and be able to know how they can get involved in this. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Engineer Agoro, FNFC. Yes, okay, you wanted to...
Can I add something to what engineer said? Like, data is the lifeblood of AI. The problem we have in Nigeria is that lack of data, which is pretty obvious. There's no gainsaying that. But to get the data, I think we need, that's why in AI implementation, you talk about the leaders, which is the leadership, getting their buy-in. So we need a government or people who actually understand the importance of data, the importance of creating the data, and then be able to do what? To use this data. If our leaders do not understand what data, the importance of that data, it doesn't really make much sense. So being able to find a way to convince the leadership why data is important, because we have so many ways we can get this data. I remember when I started doing something in Nigeria, data is just in silos. There's no way of pulling all these things together. So you need people with vision who actually recognize the importance of that. That's when we start putting systems in place in order to capture this data and make use of it. It's only when you have the data that you'll be able to train the models, and then vice versa. From the training, by using the model, you now get more data. Thank you.
Thank you very much, presenter. I'm aware your hand is up, Engineer Tochi and Engineer Rashid Babalola, and I've seen your question, Engineer Mutu Lawal. I will read it out. Just to say that what I was trying to get to before the first question came in is that we have an AI-heavy agenda for this term. We have the branch chairman's buy-in. So if you attended this session and you did not understand anything about what the presenter was saying, I think that's perfectly okay. Hopefully, over the coming months, we're going to have sessions where we unpack that will go beyond the hype, beyond like state of the art, what ChatGPT is doing, for instance, that's state of the art right now, into the building blocks of AI. And I've seen that the presenter has already mentioned that his company offers training and consultancy in that respect. How you go from, like, because we're engineers, a lot of AI is engineering. Actually, the whole hype thing, ChatGPT and other large language models, at the core of it is reinforcement learning, which is a kind of an extension of it's a control problem, right? So ChatGPT uses something they call reinforcement learning with human feedback, and that's why they are better than all the other ones out there. We're going to unpack those things in the coming months, but then we're going to also show that how these things connect and how people can maybe, hopefully, our members. This is the best time to join the Glasgow branch if you're not a member of this branch. But if you're not able to join the branch, please do follow our programs. We'll have a lot coming up. So, Engineer Samuel, please, you can ask your question. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. So, I was supposed to have two questions or two comments to make, but I think the first part, since Engineer Agoro has talked somehow or has said something about it, When we talk about AI, I think the bedrock is actually sensors. Even before we start talking about data, you have to actually talk about sensors, more especially when it comes to the engineering part of solving technical issues or doing predictive maintenance. Aside from maybe when you're looking at statistical analysis or financial analysis, where the data is gotten from systems that are already in place. For instance, talking about creating a model that would make some prediction, maybe along a coastal way, you need to, like, the government's supposed to, like, put in place sensors along the road so that maybe over time we'll have a historic data that you can use to make prediction. But these are things that that's what I see that is the real issue. Having those infrastructures that can, sensors that will be able to generate data for the real modeling to happen, which I think that's where leaders of the industry or where leaders of the industry will have to pay more attention to. But since it's been spoken of, my major question will now be on, or major comment on
Engineer Samuel, you were breaking, and I think we have just lost you. Are you there, please? Okay. I would go over to, just in the interest of time, Engineer Rashid Babalola. Please, okay, you can respond to, hopefully when Samuel gets back, you can pick up the rest of the question and respond to it. Engineer Rashid Babalola, please go ahead and ask your question. Thank you.
Thank you, the moderator of this webinar. It gladdens my heart to congratulate the branch for continuity of what Engineer Dr. Stephen Iguaye have championed when he was the branch chairman. But before I further say anything, let me recognize and greet my Oga who is on board, our past president, Engineer Babagada Mohammed, FNSC, and indeed the last speaker, who is my current vice president, Engineer Ademola Goro. So let me thank Engineer Stephen for having a fit successor in person of Engineer Segun Aderioye, who has continued in this way of professional development of members. It's a good thing. We cannot do without keying into any program that Glasgow branch has showcased. So the topic for today is very apt because we're in the world of AI strategic for engineers, turning technical skills into business value. And that is what I want to really ask some questions as an engineer. Engineer Guru said most AI are engineering in nature, of course. And the presenter, who I also want to congratulate for a good delivery, Dr. Okey Nnoli, for a very good job. He explained AI. I don't know if he's an engineer, but he has spoken exactly like an engineer. So congratulations for that. You said, how do we turn technical skill into business value? That interests me as an engineer who is both in academics and in business environment. You also made example with the coastal way, Lagos Calabar, that if we have had the knowledge of the use of AI, reversal that is taking place right now on that way may probably not have happened. So, and I want to find out, as a way of value identification, how can engineers identify specific business problem that AI can solve within a business environment or within an organization? So you can take that as my question number one. And I also want to ask, because engineers, we are skills. Skills is engineering. So you say in a way, within your lecture, skills translation. So what strategies can engineers use to translate their technical skill into business value effectively? I'm aware of data, but as an expert in AI, I want you to elucidate those my questions. Thank you. My name is Engineer Dr. Abdul Rashid Babalola, FNSC. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you very much, Engineer Babalola. In one of the slides, I think I mentioned, I don't know if it's slide number 7. So mostly I mentioned about the 3 pillars, which is the data, and then you talk about the algorithm, and then you talk about the infrastructure. So these 3, when they are put together, but the question is, so for each of these, you also have, what do we call it, individual skills to deal with them. Like in the case of data, you can talk about people analyzing data or even collecting the data, cleaning the data up, because it's not every data that could actually make business sense. It's data that is actually structured and also cleaned up and prepared for that. And then you talk about the model. You get people that will build the model, which is the data scientists and the AI engineers. And then the infrastructure actually helps to get those data into the model and also capture some other things. So to identify business problem, so we already know when we talk about business problem, it could be engineering problem as well. So it could be like for instance, inspecting the bridge is a problem you want to solve. So when we talk about business, not really like, people opening shops, it could be an engineering problem. But the key is that we are solving problems. So being able to look at your current process or your current business or something that you need to do and see, one, is there any way we can improve this? 2, are there any opportunities that we could actually leverage or actually create based on what we are doing, or maybe a particular project we want to do? So you need to look at all these things and then check all these things, this particular problem which we have identified. How can we use AI? Because it's not actually all the problems that AI can solve. And when we talk about AI, people always tend to see when there's a problem, you just throw AI at it and then that problem will be solved. No, you can have your existing system, which is something like e-commerce platform, and you decide to say, okay, we are getting data from the customers, the click, the visit, and other things, and we can think of what can we actually do with this data. So is there a way we can leverage this data and maybe gain competitive advantage, maybe increase the sales or help to maybe improve the customer experience? So with this, you now begin to think of, you have a problem you want to solve. Is this something which AI can solve? Yeah, definitely. Maybe if we use something like chatbots, which is powered by AI, maybe that will help to answer some of these questions. So I'm just taking this e-commerce as an example, but the same thing happens in engineering. So being able to identify the problems you want to solve and ask that question, is this something which AI can solve? And how do you know if AI can solve this problem? Like we said, by learning, continuous learning, and also collaborating with people, you begin to kind of see what the use cases and what people actually, the kind of problems people solve or businesses solve with AI. And with that, you can relate with that to what you are doing. We have this task is always being repetitive. Is this something we can automate? Is there a way we can link this up to a different system in order to solve problems? So it's just a matter of thinking, looking for opportunities, and then asking the questions if it is something that we can automate, or is this something that we can use something that we can apply AI, like data machine learning or data analytics to solve. And then, do you have the data to solve this problem? If you have the data, who are you going to collaborate with? Do you have the expertise? If you don't have the expertise, do you need to bring in the experts, or do you need to develop that in-house and then keep on learning in order to solve the problem? That's basically what we are talking about.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. I'm glad that people are engaging with this topic. And like I've said before, we're going to be having more AI related webinars in the future. So please do engage with us. I just wanted to quickly say that because a lot of people have talked about data, I feel compelled to say something about that. There are a lot of open data out there. So Okey mentioned a Nigerian company called Zenvos that uses sensing data to inform farmers when the right time to plant is, when the right time to apply fertilizers is. Yes, there's a lot of data analytics that goes into that, but there are lots of open climatic data out there. I know because I work with some of them. The National Oceanographic Administration, NOAA, it's called NOAA, NOAA. For instance, they have atmospheric condition data. There's one called ERA5, which have gridded. Like when I say gridded, you're talking about something that maybe I think the resolution is about 35 kilometers that covers the entire globe, giving you precipitation, that's rainfall, oxygen, sorry, NO2, nitrous oxide pollutants, CO2 pollutants, and all kinds of data like that. There are loads and loads of open atmospheric data. So if you're in agriculture, you can actually have a lot without having to buy and install your own sensors. You can actually have a lot of data that will tell you what the environmental condition is going to be, which will then help inform what kind of crops you should plant. If there's going to be heat, like a heat wave, you will know ahead of time. Plus, pretty much all meteorological agencies, including NIMET in Nigeria, the Met Office here in the UK, their data is always open, and they are collecting this data from satellites on daily basis. You can get hourly and even by minute data from lots of these sources, and you can build your own weather prediction system. Like you can build your own weather forecasting system if you have the technical know-how. I know a lot of other people have spoken about it, but also the data that you're thinking you do not have. You have your employee records, you have your payroll records, and building systems that can help you to automate a few things, right? Like reading documents, automating the payroll information, communicating with your subscribers, emailing about the progress and whatever is going on. I'll give you a simple example. If people come to your website, is it very accessible? If you have loads and loads of pages, for instance, there was something that I collaborated with someone to build recently, where you have a chat bot that you integrate into a website. So it's like a personal assistant. You come to a website, you live in Glasgow. Maybe you want to know when the city council is coming to pick up the red bin from your street. You just put your postcode there, and it will tell you that this is the day that they are coming to pick the red bin and the other thing. It summarizes all those massive information on your website. So this is, it's powered by AI in the background, but it's just a simple chatbot. It interacts with your web pages, which is information you already have there. The Nigerian Bureau of Statistics publishes data, about the GDP, about population, about diseases, about all kinds of things. And then if you go to the sensing side, there are lots of young people that say, building all kinds of amazing things. So please, I'm not going to take up a lot more time than this, but the solutions are not as far-fetched as we might think. And that's where innovation comes in. You can work with the little things you have. There were young people who trained at the University of Lagos on building sensors, and some of the solutions they were building, including almost a fully automated farm, cost less than $30.
Engineer Kenichi, I know we can go on and on and on.
Yeah, so I'm going to take
but-
Mutiu's question, and then Chidi Chris, I'll come to you.
Sorry, I think we're actually pushed for time.
Right,
So
okay.
if people can drop their question, and apologies for that, just because we need to translate into our general meeting. If you can put in your question down and possibly put in some contact, we can collate all these questions, send it to Okey Nnoli, and then circulate it. And I also believe that we can also share your slide to people, and then obviously you've got your contacts there, and then we can obviously, this is not going to be the last of this kind. I know we can keep stretching on and also. I think Kenichi, if we can just round up this session.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Chairman. The final point I was going to make was that we're going to post the slides on our website. I will drop the address in case you do not know the branch website, and the recording is going to be shared across our social media channels, mostly on YouTube, but we'll also post as we've been posting prior to this on Facebook and all other social media channels. I had a question that I was going to ask, okay, because a lot of what the state of the arts here has been like everyone has been doing language models. I wanted to ask what the future of AI is beyond, ChatGPT and Claude from Anthropic and all the other LLM-based models. But I guess it's part of the question we'll send across to you so that when you respond to that,
Yeah, but just a quick one. I think the future will come to a point whereby everybody will level up. That's what I'm saying. Not the kind of future which Elon Musk described, that everybody will just have little or nothing to do, and AI will solve most of the problem. But it will come to a point whereby, just like we have personal computers, companies are using them, it will come to a point whereby that will be the case. So before, people used to say something, refer to computer as something, just like we are referring to everything as AI. So you get a point whereby it is now ubiquitous. Now, the key differentiator will now be, how do you use the same AI to gain competitive advantage? So combination of your intelligence, combination of what you do with the data, which you are doing, because when everybody is doing the same thing, what you need now is a better strategy to be able to do what? To outsmart the competitors. So
thank you. Thank
you.
you. As a summary, we really appreciate you coming to speak to us. We're going to be rolling out lots of AI focused talk. Personally, I can't get it. A day can't pass without me using AI. I pretty much use it as a digital assistant to help me get more done. And these days, not like Okey has said, pretty much what I foresee is that I will tell it to call the branch chairman. I'll just tell my phone, call the branch chairman like you would do with Siri, or send someone an email, or read the emails you received without me having to touch any device. Those things already exist. You can Google open interpreter projects, and then you see some kind of devices like that. Thank you for coming to speak with us, and thank you everyone for listening. And apologies we couldn't get to all the questions. I've seen lots of positive things in the comments as well about reactive and predictive maintenance, and about the role of the engineer. So please do keep engaging with us. We will soon announce, and please, we do not have everyone's contacts, but if you be kind enough to visit our website, I prepared a survey. Just didn't have the time to roll it out on a browser before this, just so we know what you want to listen to when you come to this webinars, and how we have used this time. If you think it was effectively utilized, or any feedback you can give us is pretty very much appreciated. So I will hand over back to the branch chairman. And please, if you are going to stay with us, we'll still be discussing issues related to those things in our meeting. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Engineer Kenichi. Thank you so much, Dr. Nnoli, for the very interesting presentation which you have done. The world is AI today, and nobody wants to be left behind. So the knowledge is apt, the knowledge is right on time. I believe we will find out, we'll find in our daily use that we can't do without it. And just like the technical secretary has said, we will be doing some AI focused workshops and terminal as the time goes on. So we hope you people will join us.